Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today is the Sporting Blizzard podcast, and we're recording over the phone due to me being an idiot and forgetting I made some plans with other people, and completely screwing up the entire time. This is on me, so I apologize for the audio. Blame me, I'm an idiot. But I'm joined with my father here, Tony. Say hello to everybody, Tony.
How's everybody doing today?
Yep, so do we just want to get this rubbing my nose in it now over with, or do you want to wait till we talk about the game?
Well, I think it's going to actually take place the entire time while we're talking about the game.
Oh, joy. I'm going to have so much fun. Real quick, I'm just going to take a hammer and go, broke my hand. I have to go to the hospital now. What a shame. But we are here to review Cardinals 49ers, and I was stupid to put that much faith in Colt McCoy. Yep, so I was wrong. The Cardinals suck. Cliff Kingsbury sucks. DeAndre Hopkins is awesome. The 49ers defense is awesome. Jimmy Garoppolo is mediocre. Deebo Samuel is awesome. Brandon Ayuk's awesome. Christian McCaffrey's pretty good. And, oh my god, who's the tight end's name? How am I blinking on him? George Kittle's awesome. By the way, did you notice George Kittle? I don't know if this is before and after the game, but he went to Pentagon Zero, and you're probably like, who is that? He is an AEW wrestler. I'm a big wrestling fan, and the whole Zero Miedo thing when he picks up the first down is what Pentagon does in his matches. So I thought that was pretty cool.
No, I did not see that. But since you started off with how bad Arizona is and how good the 49ers are, I'd like to point out one thing. Their perimeter defense, there meaning the Cardinals, when covering a tight end, is absolutely horrible. If you remember a couple weeks ago when Seattle was playing them, Seattle had that 50-plus yard run by fans.
Which was because of no one was in sight.
Because the screen, they missed out on it. They don't have anybody protecting the outside on that screen with the tight end. San Francisco used that exact same play twice. They did it once on each side of the field. So it just shows that Arizona is pretty susceptible to that. And I would make note that moving forward in fantasy, if somebody's playing against Arizona and there's a pretty decent tight end available, to look for that, because I'm sure offensive coordinators will exploit it. So,
do you think that's a coaching thing or a player's thing?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. It's probably scheme. But remember, they've got so many players going in and out of that lineup that not everybody's going to be well-versed in the system.
Oh, yeah. But George Kittle is one of the best tight ends in the league when healthy. There's no doubt about that. He's a great blocker. He's a great receiver. Do you think that having him kind of exploited a bit more than it would be like for a LA with a Tyler Higbee, for example?
No, I honestly don't think so. And the reason why, you would honestly think that playing against Kittle, you would have a spy on him the entire time, right?
Yeah.
Because he is so dynamic. Look at that one pass right up the middle for the – honestly, I think it was his first touchdown.
Yeah.
When Garoppolo ran out to the side and then ran through, and Kittle, who was coming across, saw him and basically just turned upfield.
So I watched the first half live, and I watched the second half on a replay. Watching that play in the first half, I said, no, Jimmy, no, bad Jimmy, bad Jimmy. Who the hell was supposed to be there next to Kittle? Because he was
safety.
Yeah, he was wide open. It was not a good pass by Jimmy. But it didn't matter. Like, if you're going to give someone that big of space, and they're that dynamic of a receiver, they're that hard to bring down, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Well, the irony there is I really think that the safety there was spying to see if Jimmy was going to run to come up and make a play on him. And I thought that was pretty funny because...
So wait a second. The safety was like, George Kittle, He's good to go. Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm worried about him.
Well, when they're getting close to the line of scrimmage, you always worry that he's going to break free and run, and that a quarterback's going to break free. And so I think the safety on that play misjudged where the quarterback was at and where the line of scrimmage was, and just passed off Kittle, and there was nobody there. But to go back to that, you can't not know where Kittle is on every single play, and I just think that just exposes a lack of discipline on that Arizona defense. Look at, if you watch that second one in the second half where Kittle goes down the left sideline, 5 yards before the end zone, there were 3 players that could have hit him, and nobody did. They didn't touch him. And I think they're just, they're defeated. I don't think that they don't care. I just think that they're defeated.
Sorry, I'm pulling that play up on my phone right now. Okay, let's see. Guy in space, 31 kind of... Oh. Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to break it down for people here because I'm just going to hit pause. They had 3 guys, and to be fair, one of them was game blocked. But 2 players just pretty much said, screw it, let him score. They made a business decision. And you can't...
I don't think it was a business decision. I just think they gave up. There's a difference. A business decision is a decision that players make because they don't want to get hurt.
Well,
all right?
Tackling George Kittle is not an easy thing.
No, I just don't think that. Look at how many players bounced off him on that run, right? I just think that they just gave up. He scored. And just let it go at that. I don't think it was a business decision.
And the other thing is, so it looks like, I believe number 9 is Isaiah. No, that okay.
9 is Simmons.
I don't know what number that was. I think it was 51. Whoever it is, he's clearly Kittle is clearly his guy because as soon as the ball is snapped, Kittle goes out to the flat. That guy is running after him, and Kittle's got full head of steam. He has a chance to tackle him at the 16, but just takes a bad angle. And it looks like 33 and 34 were the 2 guys that didn't make the tackle for Arizona. Sorry, I don't have their roster off the top of my head of what numbers they are. But that's not good. And do you have concern for the Cardinals coaching staff at this moment? Do you think there's a chance they are fired?
I have had great concern for the Cardinals coaching staff since the beginning of the year. I'm one of the very few people that can go on record as saying that I thought that Cliff was a bad hire. I thought that Kyle was a bad draft choice.
Kyler.
And I did.
You said
Did
Kyle.
I say Kyle?
You said Kyle.
Yeah. I'm old. But I just don't think that Murray is every down, every game quarterback in the NFL, and he's so immature. You can't lead a team like that.
Huh.
And I honestly feel the same way about Cliff, that he shows a lot of immaturity as well.
Cliff belongs in college.
He does. I think he does better dealing with kids, although I don't know why in that instance he's not better dealing with Murray. But it'll be interesting to see if they do get fired simply because of that huge extension, and if he does get fired and that coaching staff is changed, I think that you have to get rid of the GM as well, quite simply because he's gone through several coaches now.
Arians, Wilkes, Kingsbury. Was he there before Arians or not?
I think in a different capacity. He's been there for a long time. So I want to come back to this in a second because I want to talk about the coaching. And again, there's a video coming out tomorrow that you guys can tune in. I'm going to talk about this a lot more. So I'm keeping my opinions a little bit lower here. Their back end of the stretch of the season is the Chargers, bye week, Patriots, Broncos, Bucks, Falcons, 49ers. How many games do they win? Repeat that again, please.
Okay, they play the Chargers this upcoming week. They then have a bye week. They play the Patriots. They go to Denver. They play the Buccaneers. They go to Atlanta, and they go to San Francisco.
I say they have a chance to win 2 of those games.
So, if they only win 2 games, do you know how many wins they'd have on the season?
That would be 6 wins, wouldn't it?
Correct. 6-11. How much did they just pay Kyler Murray?
A lot of money.
So you can't use the excuse you don't have the franchise quarterback. You can't use the excuse that this team lacks talent, because they do have a lot of talent. Budda Baker's one of the best game-changing safeties in the league. J.J. Watt, he is aging. There's no doubt about it, but he's still a good player. DeAndre Hopkins, he's still one of the best wide receivers in the league. It's very clear when you watch him play. He is still a tough matchup for whoever plays him. James Conner has had a renaissance in Arizona. The O-line, it's a little lackluster, I'll give you that, but there's still talent all over this team. So, at what point is it coaching, Kyler, or the players?
I think it's coaching and it's Murray.
So here's the other question I want to ask then. We come back. If you're a head coaching candidate, do you take the Arizona Cardinals job?
Well, somebody will.
Somebody obviously will. It's one of 32 jobs in the league. It's a valuable job. But if you are a candidate that has a lot of higher up positions, you have a couple job opportunities. Do you take the Cardinals or do you look at somewhere else? Like, say, Carolina, for example, or Indianapolis, who both have openings.
Well, I think that you interview for it, right? And then you tell them what you want. I mean, you got to remember, coaches nowadays, when they go in, they have to show their vision, but they also get to say what they want and what they don't want. So I think you go in and you lay it all on line. And Murray is talented. There's no doubt about it. He has to be limited in his running because he is so small. He takes hits. So he has to be limited in his running. Other than that, he has a lot of the same issues that Russell Wilson has. He can't see portions of the field because he's so small. And that hurts when defenses are playing against you because they know where they have to cover. So that's one of the reasons why he's always able to run in the middle of the field, is because defenses usually clear out of that, quite simply because he can't throw there. So everybody's guarding the perimeter. But he gets hurt too much. So you need to basically rein him in there. You need to develop a system. Honestly, putting him in motion a little bit more, letting him throw from the outside. He's a great mobile quarterback when he's throwing the ball while on the move. So if you can design your offense in that, I think you do a lot better. Do I think, like I said, I don't think he's the answer quarterback, but you paid him. You can't get away from it right now, so you go. And if you're the quarterback there, you go in knowing that you've invested a lot of money there. And quite frankly, you play a couple of years, you build your assets around the rest of the team, you see what you can do. And the second you can get rid of him, you get rid of him.
So do you think that the Arizona job is less desirable with Kyler Murray's contract than other jobs that will be open? Okay.
No. Here's the thing, right? And this goes down to it all the time. Quarterbacks coming out of college are a crapshoot, right? At least with Murray, you know there's talent and you know his deficiencies. So you can honestly coach around that if you can get him to buy in.
Okay. I'm just looking at over the cap. So pretty much the first opportunity they can get out of this deal is 2025. It gets much better in 2026 and 2027 as well. Do you see him being on the team come the 2025 season? Because it would be a $33 million dead cap, but his cap hit would be $45 million. You'd be saving $12 million.
Well, I think, quite frankly, when you go into this job, you know a couple things. You have some talent and you have some assets, right? You also have a lot of old players. this is going to be a complete rebuild, which is one of the reasons why I say it's pretty desirable.
So you believe the 2023 Arizona Cardinals will not have DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt. They'll probably keep Budda Baker unless someone wows them with an offer, which I wouldn't blame someone. But do you think this is kind of the start of the teardown process we're about to enter?
I do. Quite honestly, if it were me, I would get rid of Cliff right now. I would put Vance in as the interim coach. Let him see what he can do for the rest of the year, because he's got experience, and I think that maybe his coaching style, he might be able to reel Murray in.
Okay, that's going to wrap us up. We spent a decent bit talking about it, and we didn't get to talk much about the 49ers as we would like, but the Cardinals are a more interesting case here. But we do have some breaking news real quick. Sam Darnold will be getting his first start of the season against the Denver Broncos come Sunday. Any thoughts on that?
I'd say that the offense for Carolina is in trouble because that Denver Broncos defense is amazing. And we all know that Darnold hears ghosts.
Yes, but the other thing is, the Carolina Panthers defense is pretty good, and Russell Wilson's going to be seeing them as well. That's not going to be a fun game to watch. I highly advise people do not watch the Broncos game. Actually, I'd advise people not to watch any Broncos football at all this year. But, hey, it's time to move into buy, sell, or holds for AFC teams. And, wow, we got some interesting ones here. And up first, because we go from, and this is NFL app. I know it's different on every other site. I know the draft order is different. This is what it is on the NFL app. Do you buy, sell, or hold in the Houston Texans?
I hold. Quite frankly, we knew they weren't going to be that good this year.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of draft capital for the upcoming year. So they're only going to get better.
Listen, if I could buy them at the lowest of lows and this can turn into money in the future, I would. But as of right now, I'm going to hold. Like you said, it's a bad team. They currently have the first overall pick, and they're going to have another high pick with the Browns pick at this rate, so they're going to get better next year. Are you going to buy, sell, or hold in the Steelers?
You're not going to like this, but I'm going to sell.
I don't blame you.
And the reason why I'm selling is because
the offense.
I like Pickett, and I like Pickens, and I like Najee Harris. I know you don't, but I like him as well. The problem is they're not addressing the offensive line.
No,
and they really needed to do something. I think their defense is more of a win now defense than some of the other teams in the NFL, and they didn't do anything to address that for this year.
Here's the thing. This offense needs an overhaul. I'm a Canada guy. He's clearly not an NFL offensive coordinator. He needs to go back to college. And by the way, I'm holding just because their schedule is horrible down the stretch. They'll win some games. But I do think that there is some progression in Pickett. I have seen he's had some bad throws. The missed throw to Pickens against the Bengals was really bad. He's not reading the defenses as well as you would for blitz pickups and all that. And some of it is on the line, I will give you that. But some of it is also on him, holding the ball too long, running into defenders, all that. I'm just going to start the campaign now. Give me Paris Johnson. I'm not going to shut up about it until the draft. I want Paris Johnson, left tackle at Ohio State. Give him to me, please. Are you going to buy, sell, or hold in the Denver Broncos? And I have sold all my stock already.
I burned all mine. I couldn't
With
sell
your
it.
Wilson jerseys? Was that the fire?
I never had a Wilson jersey. Defense only. Remember that.
Listen, the Broncos are a train wreck. There's no way around it. This is a bad football team with the best defense in the NFL, perhaps. Yeah.
It's a bad offense.
Yeah.
It's not a bad football team.
Yeah.
It's a bad
offense, yes.
That defense is absolutely spectacular.
They'd have 9 wins in the year, if I'm correct. If they scored over 18 points a game.
Yeah, we heard that just the other day on another podcast.
It's insane how bad the offense is. And here's going to lead the question: does Hackett see another season?
You know, I don't know. I really don't know. I honestly would say yes. I mean, let's face it, their offensive line had issues from day one this year.
And why is that? Why is that? Because this should not. Because I made a Broncos video. I didn't mention this, and it ticks me off. That's why I'm making a second Broncos video. Why did the offense line take a massive regression?
Because they lost somebody that isn't a player. He doesn't see the field, but he is quite frankly one of the absolute best offensive line coaches in the NFL over recent history.
Mike Munchak. He left the Steelers. Their line regressed. He's left the Broncos. Their line has regressed. If this isn't a sign, he should be getting $10 million a year just to be an offensive line coach with how today's all about protecting the quarterback. Why not? He makes bad linemen look average. Average linemen look great. He is a phenomenal offensive line coach. And I mentioned this to you the other day, and as soon as I said it, it clicked in your head like, I didn't even think of that. And it now makes so much sense. But the Broncos, it's a tire fire. But are you ready for the Cleveland Browns? Are you buying, selling, or holding?
You know, I'm going to sell. And the reason why I'm going to sell is because I just don't think they're in a position to do anything this year.
Their defense is bad. I'm selling as well. Their defense is bad. Like, I believe they're getting a new defensive coordinator next year. It's just not been good. Are you buying, selling, or holding on the Raiders?
Sold.
Did I have any stock in the first place to sell? I've been anti-Josh McDaniels. I do not think he's a good coach. Well, hang on. I don't think he's a good head coach. I think he's a fine offense coordinator. So far, I'm proven right. My question is this Derek Carr's last year in Vegas with the Raiders? And it sounds crazy to say because they just gave him a massive extension. But there's already been talks that McDaniels is unhappy with him. Which makes me wonder, is McDaniels wanting him out? And that brings in the other question that I just saw. It was reported by Dove Kleiman. I believe that's his name. The Raiders don't have enough money to fire Josh McDaniels if they want to.
Well, that's the reason why they can't get rid of Carr either.
Exactly.
The guaranteed money.
Which just... Are we entering a point that Mark Davis is going to be forced to sell the team? See, this is something that takes a lot of thought. The reason why oh, he's cutting it out. That's my bad. You cut out there.
No.
Okay, you're cutting in and out. So we're gonna take a bit to fix this. Yep. I'm just gonna bring right back to the question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I'm just gonna bring back to the question.
That's fine.
Are we to the point Mark Davis is gonna have to sell the Raiders?
I don't think so. What I was saying during the interference, I guess, was that look at how Cincinnati's operated.
True, but
you can do it.
Here's the other thing.
You just have to.
They're being investigated by the IRS, so that ain't good.
Depends on what they find.
That is very true. We don't know what they'll find. I don't know if it'd be good or bad because the Davis family means so much to football. It's a historical family. But man, just the Raiders have not been ran properly for a long time. Now, are you buying, selling, or holding on the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I'm holding.
Same. It's a young team. Trevor Lawrence has played better this year, no doubt. But there's still issues. There's still some issues with the team. They're a ways away from competing. Now, you're going to have a lot of stock to sell in this team. The Indianapolis Colts.
I am going to hold on this team.
Wow.
And the reason why is because they are my Super Bowl candidate.
Still?
Well, that's who I picked pre-year. And we haven't repicked, so they've definitely shown signs. Their defense is playing well. So do I think that this is their year? No, but I don't think they're as far away as what their record and everything else leads everybody to believe.
No, they need to readdress the offensive line. I think that's without doubt. They'll probably have to look at a new quarterback, and they should. Matt Ryan's a shell of his former self. Here's the question, though. Does this team draft a quarterback in the first round, or do they address the O-line? That's been my question.
You address the O-line.
I agree, but today, with Jim Irsay kind of being a bit more involved, could you see him wanting a quarterback?
I don't think so, quite frankly. He has listened to a lot of people. And, I mean, look at his interim coach right now. What is it? It's an offensive lineman.
That's true. And their line play has played better since Saturday has been hired. Now, I just wanted to say this real quick because I was very hard on the Eagles' rush defense. Picking up Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh improved their rush defense drastically with Jordan Davis out. Good job by Harry Roseman. Just want to throw that out there because I was very harsh on them last week. The Los Angeles Chargers, are you buying, selling, or hold? Because I'm holding because I'm tired of getting hurt by them. I'm tired. They've hurt me too much.
Yeah, I'm a sap. I'm buying.
This team, how many years has it been? They can go on a Super Bowl run. They can go on a Super Bowl run. I'm done. Do it at this point. Do it. I'm not believing you. Like, the Chargers are the drug addict that's addicted to something and they can't stop, and you're begging them, and you're going to cut them out of their life until they get better. So I'm cutting you out of my life, Chargers. I am. I'm sick of it. Are you buying, selling, or holding the New York Jets?
You know what? Here's the thing. I think I'll buy on them because I don't think that Zach Wilson's going to be the quarterback this week. I think that that's a playoff team. If anybody that can actually understand a defense is back under center, and they just happen to have Joe Cool back there, and I think that if he plays, it's gonna be interesting.
So is another Joe going to take the Jets their first Super Bowl since Super Bowl III? But here's the thing with the Jets. I don't trust them yet. I think they have a lot of talent, and that's why I'm going to hold. Zach Wilson, I don't trust. Joe Flacco, he's older, and he's had a back injuries in the past. I don't really think this team is Super Bowl contender yet. Get the right quarterback in there, though, like we saw with the Rams. Or we'll probably see in the future. I know a perfect quarterback that would be perfect there, but he ain't ever returning. That's Geno Smith. If you had Geno Smith playing back there for the Jets, they'd be first place in their division with that defense. Here's the thing, though. What can New York do to address the quarterback situation? Well, you can draft a guy. They're going to have a pick in the first round, but where's it going to be at? You're going to be picking maybe a developmental guy, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, who I'm not high on, but he'd still be available in that range, in my opinion. You'd be right back to square one. You have to develop a guy like you did with Wilson. So are you going to go the developmental route, or are you going to go with the ready route? And you kind of have to go with the ready route with this team. There are not a lot of guys available that are ready route that we know of right now. What? Well, the one guy I can see about it is Jared Goff, and that's if Detroit takes quarterback in the first round. Goff's not special, but he's better than what the Jets have right now. Are you ready to?
Well, you also mentioned Jimmy G.
Jimmy Garoppolo's perfect, and Geno Smith would also make sense. But
I don't think Seattle's letting him go.
Yep. But let's move on. Cincinnati Bengals. Are you gonna buy, sell, or hold on them?
I'm gonna hold on them. Their offensive line still is not very impressive. Jamar Chase, we don't really know the extent of his injury. They said he might come back and practice.
I believe he is practicing this week, yes.
But we still don't know what that's going to mean. So I'll hold on him.
I'm going to buy.
I was high on him.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, apparently I'll go ahead.
No, I said I was just going to buy. Yeah, I was going to. I was high on him at the beginning of the season. So I'm just going to remain high on them by holding.
I'm going to buy on them, and I'm buying on them right now because I think they win the division. The Ravens are not the best team in this division. It's very clear. I think the Ravens drop games at the end of the year. I think they at least drop one to Pittsburgh. I think they lose the rematch Cincinnati. And I think it's possibly lose one to Cleveland because Cleveland has played them well historically, and they'll have Deshaun Watson back by then. I don't think the Ravens are going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to fall off here, and I think the Bengals are going to take their spot. Little tidbit for when we get to Baltimore. Are you buying, selling, or holding on the New England Patriots?
Buying. That defense is just ridiculous.
So, I had this thing I was saying this entire offseason. Don't bet against Belichick. I'm not going to bet against Belichick. I think his team is playing great. The offense, ugh. The defense, though, pretty good. And I'm going to compare them to the Broncos. They have the same issue as the Broncos. Their offense isn't good, but their defense is great. Here's the difference. Bill Belichick is the greatest head coach in NFL history, the greatest head coach in all of sports history. Nathaniel Hackett's a new guy who is inexperienced. Bill Belichick's the best, and he is going to take this team to the playoffs. Are they going to win the playoffs? I don't know yet. Their defense plays a great football game. If they play the right team, I very well think they can. Do I think they can beat the Chiefs and Bills? No, I do not. So, are you going to buy, sell, or hold on the Buffalo Bills?
I think I'll buy.
Yeah, this is still my Super Bowl pick. I'm buying them. They've had they've had a little bit of a rough stretch, but they're still the best team in that division. They're still the best team in the AFC, in my opinion. The Baltimore Ravens. Well, I already gave my tidbit of what I think. I'm selling. I don't think this is that good of a football team. I think they've had an easy schedule. And their schedule does still get very easy down the stretch, but there are teams that know how to play them better than other teams do.
I'll sell on them as well. I think that defense is coming around, but good gosh, that offense just can't seem to get out of their own way.
No. And we're at the point now that's like, will Lamar get paid? And you got to say no at this point. I know it's controversial to say Lamar Jackson's not a franchise quarterback in today's NFL. Here's the thing. He's a special talent. But his special talents dry up when it comes January. And that's not good for a franchise quarterback.
Here's the thing, and this is what I'll kind of liken it to really quick. Cordarrelle Patterson is a special talent as a football player, but he could not cut it as a wide receiver. All right? Kick return extraordinaire. I think he's an amazing running back, but he is just a phenomenal football player. I think Lamar Jackson is just a great football player, but I don't think he is a franchise quarterback.
And that's very fair, because Lamar Jackson is a game changer. At the end of the day, he is someone you have to game plan for. But when it comes down to it, come January, I don't see him being a Pat Mahomes. I don't see him being Josh Allen. I don't even know if I take him being a Tua Tagovailoa. We see that he has issues being a Ryan Tannehill. He ain't being a Joe Burrow. We're at this point that he can get them to a certain point, but he can't get them over the hump. And now this moves on. The Tennessee Titans, are you buying, selling, or holding?
I'm eating a little crow and I'm buying.
So here's my thing with the Titans. I don't really think they're that good offensively. Their defense is very, very good. So I'm kind of in the middle here. I'm kind of holding because I do think they win the AFC South. I do think there's a chance they stay at the 3rd seed. I wouldn't be surprised they drop to the 4th seed. I just don't know if I trust this Titans team come January. And here's the
only thing I'll say.
They have Derrick Henry. They have a great defense. Mike Vrabel's done a great coaching job. I don't trust Todd Downing's OC, and Ryan Tannehill has given me little faith in the past 2 years.
I thought he actually played really, really well the other night. He was hitting his receivers. So like I said, I'm definitely in on him. And I thought that they were on the decline at the beginning of the season. So
the Miami Dolphins, are you buying, selling, or holding? And listen, Dolphins fans, I already see in my Dolphins video I made. I see you. You don't like me very much. I'm well aware of that. Guess what? I'm still not changing my mind. This is not a Super Bowl winning team. They don't have a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I'm selling. Bills are beating you. Bring all your hate. I love it.
And I will hold on this team because I said what I said at the beginning of the season. They've got a good defense, which they got better at by bringing in Bradley Chubb. They've got a prolific offense, which I think, honestly, they got better when they traded and picked up another running back. So I think that the sky is honestly the limit for this team. I think it's going to come down right now to a playoff game. And let's face it. 4th quarter, Josh Allen hasn't been that good this year, right? He has had problems, especially in the red zone when you can put pressure on him. They can put pressure on you. So do I think that Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills will end up in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs? Yeah, but it would not surprise me if the Dolphins knocked one or both of them out.
Okay, here's all I'm going to say, because I think this is going to be a real possibility here in the near future. We both are under the assumption that Cincinnati's going to have issues paying Joe Burrow. Am I correct?
Yep.
If you put Joe Burrow on this Dolphins team, I'd be right on board. But he's not. Because I look at this, I would take Tua over Lamar right now because I trust Tua as a passer more. I'm not taking Tua over Burrow. I'm not stupid. I'm not taking Tua over the Bills. I'm not taking Tua over Pat Mahomes. Spoiler alert, Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. I'm not taking anyone over him. I'm not. I can't say they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I can't say they're going to go to the AFC Championship game when I look at them and I have him as the 4th best quarterback in the playoff picture. Because I do think, like I said, he's better than Lamar right now. I think he's better than Mac Jones, which is something we argued about heavily last year. But in other playoff team in the picture, he's much better than Zach Wilson, much better than Joe Flacco. But that doesn't need to be stated if you watch Zach Wilson play football.
Let me ask a question real fast.
Go ahead.
Whose decision-making this year has been better, Tua's or Josh Allen's?
Tua's. But at the end of the day, talent overcomes a lot in the playoffs we saw. I'm just telling you right now, Bills are still winning the Super Bowl. They're still going to go through everyone. And let's not pretend that Tua's not going to have some tests. This week, they'll probably win handily. Wouldn't you say they'll beat the Texans handily?
I think they will.
The following week, they play the San Francisco 49ers. That's when we find out the truth about Tua.
You have had... This is now your 3rd truth game for Tua And each time this year you have said that Tua was going to fall, he has come through.
He hasn't.
You,
Okay, what were my truth games for Tua?
the
Buffalo
first
week 3.
Buffalo game,
He did
yeah,
not have the best game in the world. He played mediocre.
he won when they needed to, right? He came through with clutch throws when they needed to,
He played fine
right?
there. He was nothing special. The Steelers, he was bad in that second half. I will keep on repeating this. That was a bad football game by Tua in the second half. First half, Tua was fine, but the Steelers made adjustments, and he couldn't adjust. And my other one, I can't remember my third one, to be honest. Oh, wait, no, this is my third one for San Francisco, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Do you think Tua's going to have a great game against the 49ers?
I think that he'll actually have a decent game against the 49ers.
See, I don't. And time will tell. I'm sure we'll probably be reviewing that game when it comes because it'll be probably the game of the week. I haven't looked that far advanced in that week's schedules, but odds are I'll probably be. But the last team, and currently, even though I don't have them going to Super Bowl, they're the current Super Bowl favorites in the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs.
You don't step on Superman's cape.
No. No,
And so I will say flat out that I'm buying on this team just because they're just you just can't count out Reed and Mahomes.
really. I there's this little birdie in the offseason I kept hearing that they wouldn't make the playoffs.
That bird never went live though.
Yeah, that bird kept his mouth shut after he watched him in the preseason. Was like, oh, I was stupid.
Yes, that bird fully acknowledged the fact that that was stupid and he was wrong.
I have had this stance that it's hard for me to pick against Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes because Andy Reid's the best offensive mind in the NFL. You can say Mike McDaniels, you can say Sean McVay, you can say whoever you want. Andy Reid's the best. He's been doing it the longest. He has evolved. It's not like he's been doing the same thing over and over again. He has evolved since his time in Green Bay as the quarterback coach. He has evolved since his time with Philadelphia as the head coach, Donovan McNabb, Mike Vick, Kevin Cobb, who he made look decent. Kansas City, he came over. Alex Smith. We both love Alex Smith. Would Alex Smith be the quarterback we think of today if it wasn't for Andy Reid? I don't believe so. And that's not a shot against Alex Smith. That's just how good Andy Reid is. He makes his quarterbacks that much better. And now Pat Mahomes. Neither of us thought Pat Mahomes would be this coming out of college. Neither of us.
No.
But working with Alex Smith, one of the smartest minds in recent NFL history, I should say, at the quarterback position, and Andy Reid every day has developed him into this. It's terrifying how good of a coach Andy Reid is. Like, if you could give me Andy Reid and Bill Belichick just debating of offense and defense, how you counter each other, I would pay money to see that. How about you?
Yes, that'd be an amazing 30 for 30 just to listen to the two of them talk.
Yep.
Point counterpoint.
Yes. It'd be phenomenal, and it's scary how great he is. That's why I have to buy on them. And I'm buying because I think this is the AFC Championship game. I think the game has kind of been like, in everyone's head, it's Buffalo KC. I think we're on a collision course for those two again. And as a football fan, that makes me excited because I get to watch two of the best quarterbacks at their craft play. Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes versus Sean McDermott and Josh Allen. It's special. And I'm excited for that, and that's why I have to buy on the Chiefs. But are you ready to get into some game picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, we have 3 Thanksgiving games, 3 Thursday games. None of them really look that enticing. You got the Bills at the Lions.
I'll take the Bills.
Listen, I'd love it if Dan Campbell got a 4-game win streak in Detroit. I'd love it. I'd be on here next week screaming MCDC. Dan Campbell for Coach of the Year. I'd be so happy. But unfortunately, there's reality. And reality's name is the Bills offense. So give me the Bills. Giants at the Cowboys.
I'll take the Cowboys.
I'll take the Cowboys as well, but I think this game's close. The Giants are just a good team that can... And I don't know if they're... I think they're a well-structured team would be better said. They play the Cowboys once before without Dak Prescott. But they're going to have a better game plan, I think. I think Brian Daboll's one of the best offensive masterminds in the NFL. I think he'll have something ready for Dallas, but I do think the Cowboys win in the end. Patriots at the Vikings. Now, this one scares me.
I'm going to go Patriots.
I'm going to as well, but Patriots have had a couple injuries in the O-line. That Vikings D-line can tee off on them. Now, as we go to the Sunday games, Broncos at the Panthers.
You know, I'm going to go Broncos.
I'm going to go Panthers. I don't trust either team. I'm at least going to take the team that seems to have bought in a bit more. So give me the Panthers. I'm not watching that game, though. How about you?
Well, I don't have time to watch much, so.
Buccaneers at the Browns. Give me the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'll take the Bucs as well.
Yep. Ravens at the Jaguars. I'll take the Ravens.
I'm going to pull a Jordan, and I'm going to take the Jags.
I will not be mad if you get that one right. Texans at the Dolphins. We kind of both said we're taking the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Bears at the Jets, and Justin Fields may be out for this game.
Well, I think I already said it. I think, I honestly think that Joe is going to be starting. So I'm taking the Jets.
I'm taking the Jets as well, mostly because I think the Jets defense will have a much easier time keeping the Bears off the scoreboard. The Bengals at the Titans. Give me those Bengals.
I'm going to take the Bengals.
Falcons at the Commanders.
I'm going to take the Commanders.
So am I.
Taylor Heineke for MVP.
I already started that chant. Hey, they've played much better since he's come in. Can't deny it. Chargers at the Cardinals.
I'm going to take the Chargers.
Same. Raiders at the Seahawks.
I'm gonna take the Seahawks.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites.
That's what they were the other day when we were looking. So
I'm gonna give everyone some advice. Hammer that line for the Seahawks. Hammer it. Seahawks
I'm
gonna
give
win
everybody
big.
some more. I'm gonna give everybody some more advice. Don't listen to his advice.
I'm sorry. Who's hit more parlays?
You have so.
So I know how to bet. Rams at the Chiefs. Dear God, can we just send the ambulance?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Same. Saints at the
And it's only a 14.5-point spread, so I still think I would take the Chiefs.
So would I, because I don't know if the Rams can score 14 points. Saints at the 49ers.
I'm going to go with the 49ers, the team that you love to hate.
True, but there's a team I love to hate more in this game, because I love to hate the Saints. So give me the 49ers. Sunday Night Football, Packers at the Eagles.
I'm going to go with it.
Oh, I think you cut out again. I'm taking
I did not cut out. I was thinking. I apologize.
Oh, I'm taking the Eagles. Their defense improved, and we both know the Packers do not like to run the ball for some stupid reason.
I'm going to take the Packers.
Packer homer. And Monday Night Football. Oh, dear God. I'm going to hate this. Steelers at the Colts.
I'm going to take the Steelers.
Same. 35 points. I have no faith. I have no faith in offense scoring in that game.
I'm going to go 39.
And the game we're going to be reviewing next week, it's Thanksgiving week. We have to review a game from Thanksgiving Day. So we're going to be reviewing Patriots-Vikings. Sound good?
Works for me.
Okay. That's going to wrap us up for today. I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. Be safe, everyone, and have a great day.
Thanks.